Once upon a time, in a peaceful meadow at the edge of a vast, whispering forest, there lay a log unlike any other, long and sturdy, with a soft brown hue and gentle rings that told stories of many seasons. This was no ordinary piece of fallen timber, for this log had a bright pair of twinkling eyes, a curious little nose, a wide amber smile that shone with unfading warmth, and, curiously, limbs carved from the very wood of its body, flexible and lively. Most marvelous of all, it carried a name that rolled joyfully off the tongue. Tung 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 Sahur. Tung Tung Tung. Sahur was not content to lie idle in the mossy clearing, while others of its kind dreamed quietly beneath blankets of green leaves. Tung longed for grand adventures and dazzling discoveries. Its heart, a small knot deep within its trunk, thrummed with an unquenchable desire for excitement and wonder. And so, one bright morning, as sunlight skipped through the treetops and tossed gold at the dewdrops, Tung decided the time had come to seek out the colorful Candy Kingdom, a legendary land said to overflow with joy, sweetness, and laughter. As Tung set out, every step was an exploration. Roots and twigs seemed to reach out in friendship, and flowers along the path raised their heads to greet their curious companion. "Where are you going?" asked a raspberry bush, its berries shining like tiny rubies. "I seek the colorful Candy Kingdom," Tung replied proudly, "for I have heard it is a land where dreams taste like sugar, and rainbows grow from the trees." The bush wished Tung luck and offered a berry for the journey, which Tung tucked under a leafy arm. Along the winding forest path, Tung hummed a rhythmic tune, a rolling, bouncing melody that echoed its name. "Tung, tung, tung," went the song, growing braver with each step. As the forest deepened, Tung came upon a babbling brook, its waters clear and cool. But the wooden adventurer was unsure how to cross. Just then, a shimmering dragonfly zipped by, its wings a whirl of emerald and sapphire. "Greetings, good Tung," called the dragonfly. "What brings you to the brook on such a fine morning?" When Tung shared the quest for the Candy Kingdom, the dragonfly buzzed with enthusiasm and pointed to a narrow path of stones dancing across the water. "Follow these, and you will soon find the edge of the forest." Tung thanked the dragonfly, carefully placing each foot on the stones and balancing with helpful limbs. On the other side, sunlight opened wide, and Tung found itself in rolling fields of tall grass, colored with flowers that shimmered pink, blue, orange, and gold. A gentle breeze brought new scents, caramel, mint, and cherry, growing stronger with every step. "The legends must be true," Tung exclaimed, its smile stretching almost as wide as its trunk. The land sloped upward, and as Tung crested the next hill, a sight almost too marvelous for words unfolded below. There it was, the colorful Candy Kingdom. All around, the world burst in colors brighter than a treasure chest. Lollipop trees swayed, their spiraled branches heavy with treats. Rivers flowed with shimmering lemonade. Gumdrop stones paved winding paths through sugar-frosted meadows, and in the distance, great castles of marzipan and spun sugar glowed in the sweet sunlight. Tung trotted down a candy cane lane, marveling at each new delight. Gentler folk made of gingerbread and marshmallow waved from the windows of caramel cottages. Licorice birds with candy corn beaks sang cheerful songs overhead. Tung's heart was a kettle drum of joy, thumping with every new wonder. Suddenly, from behind a jelly bean bush, a small figure emerged, a sprightly candy mouse with a licorice tail and a butterscotch hat. "Hello, traveler! Welcome to our kingdom," chirped the candy mouse. Tung bowed, introducing itself. "I am Tung 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 Sahur, and I've come from the forest to see your marvelous land." The candy mouse grinned. "Then come, friend, and we shall show you all the kingdom's finest treats." And so began a grand tour. Past chocolate chip gardens, through marshmallow fields that bounced beneath their feet. Tung and the candy mouse danced and laughed. Friendly gummy bears led the way to the lollipop grove, where Tung tasted sweet dew from the candy blossoms. They scaled towers made of stacked taffy, their hands sticky but their spirits soaring. As the day wore on, Tung realized something wonderful. The greatest sweetness lay not only in the candies, but in the kindness and joy of newfound friends. The gentle gingerbread folk, the playful gummy bears, the skipping sugar sprites, all welcomed Tung with open arms and hearty laughter. Songs were sung in honor of this cheerful visitor from the woods, and even the licorice king himself paid a visit, gifting Tung a gleaming medal of crystalline sugar to mark this most special adventure. Night fell, and the candy kingdom sparkled beneath the stars, every color reflecting moonbeams and dreams. Tung sat with friends atop a hill of jelly beans, looking out over the glowing land. "I will remember this adventure always," Tung said, its voice gentle as caramel. "But tomorrow, I must return to my home." The candy folk nodded, understanding that every adventure, no matter how sweet, must end. So with hugs, songs, and promises to remember, Tung set out before dawn, the metal shining around its sturdy trunk. The journey home was bright and joyful, the path lined with memories and new friends waving from the kingdom's edge. At last, Tung returned to the peaceful meadow at the edge of the forest, filled with tales as sweet as candy and a heart richer than gold. And though it had journeyed far, Tung knew that the greatest adventure was the friendship and joy carried inside, shining brightly for all to see. And so it is said, whenever the forest breeze carries the scent of sugar or a faint, happy melody, tung, 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 it is the spirit of Tung 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 Sahur, ever ready for the next adventure beyond the woods, where sweetness, courage, and kindness